Welcome to an NA.
Good evening. This is Evening News. I'm your host for tonight, Catboy Kunhua. In the news, this week the NRA decided to show political diversity by becoming involved in sensitive issues usually not associated with guns. The conservative right-wing leaning association has taken upon itself to handle thorny issues that parents tend to avoid speaking to their children about. The NRA has come up with a method of using nursery rhymes to teach children on adult topics such as adolescence and birth control. Birth control. All right. So the first book about birth control is based on there was an old lady who lived in a shoe who had so many kids she knew what to do. It was time to arrange another gun cleaning.
Lord.
Last week, an anonymous source on Twitter released a video of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez dancing in what appears to be an amateur music video filmed during her high school years. Considering the language the anonymous source posted with the video, it was leaked with the intention of attempting to politically discredit and ruin Cortez's career. Apparently, it had the exact opposite effect because whoever leaked the video did not realize the entire country of America is not living in the town of Footloose where dancing is criminal.
Okay.
As the shutdown, the U.S. government enters its third week. Yesterday, New York Magazine published an article revealing that Trump and the greater part of his administration actually had no idea what a government shutdown would actually do. The article claimed that the Trump administration blundered its way into power almost by accident. They did not expect to win the election. That was clearly evident when they entirely neglected to plan in a transition, leaving many key positions vacant to this very day. This lack of understanding the long-term devastating effects of government agencies is quite damning of the Trump administration. This comes as a surprise as Donald Trump actually has more experience in government shutdowns than any other president in history, as he's had 3 in his first 2 years in office. Unfortunately, experience doesn't count for much when you live with your head up your ass and refuse to learn anything.
When you got more money than Trump, I'll listen to you.
The shutdown continues as, of course, the president and both the Senate and Congress are at odds about giving Trump the requested $5.7 billion to build a wall. In an effort to turn opinion around on Trump's stubbornness, he made a public statement that he consulted the ex-presidents who advised him to build a wall. After that, every single living ex-president came out and denied they ever spoke to Donald Trump about building a wall, including Jimmy Carter, who, among all the presidents, is the only one that actually builds walls. By the way, that last photo I showed you, I had to crop, of course, George D.W. out the right because, you know, he's not with us anymore. But if he was, he probably would say pretty much the same thing. Now, Trump is convinced the Democrats are actually pro-wall. As he said, Obama, in his current living residence, seen here, built a 10-foot-high wall around his home. However, as you can see in this photo, that's just plain not true. That's it. You know, unless that little tiny brick thing at the end there, you call that like a 10-foot-high wall if you're only 6 inches tall.
How about the sub-ground machine guns that pop up when you hit up in the lawn?
I think you're watching too much Fortnite. Anyway, after this became public, Fox News retorted that Obama is a hypocrite for not supporting Trump's wall because Obama's house has walls. And if he actually praised what he preached, the Obama family would be living in a gazebo. The Democrats were not swayed by Trump over the weekend, so Trump tweeted a picture of his giant floating head over a wall. The message, the wall is coming. Several people commented on this tweet saying, forget the wall. If you post this on a giant billboard, it would probably scare the hell out of people. Also, you can see by the font that Trump is obviously cashing in on the popularity of Game of Thrones by using the Game of Thrones title font in the text. And I understand why Trump is so fond of Game of Thrones, as the only walkers that got through their giant wall were white.
Oh.
And of course, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after comedy, Donald Trump is going to be addressing the nation regarding what he has referred to as a national emergency. Political pundits can only guess what Trump will be using emergency powers to fund the wall he wants. But the real extent of how he intends to use his emergency powers is unknown. In response to this, many people are calling to boycott the address and not watch it. Personally, I do not endorse this, because when the news is telling you there's a hurricane coming, you really should watch to know how badly it's coming to fuck your shit up. Whose boat is this boat, by the way? Is this your boat, or did it become your boat? Is this your boat or someone else's boat? And that's the way you wish it wasn't. I'm Catboy Kunhua.
Yeah.